Excuse me. I'll just be a moment. Oh, I'm sorry. I had something to do here. I'm ready to go when you are. Nothing. This is someone I used to know. Many years ago, I just thought I should stop by and pay my respects. Lawrence was my friend. We grew up together. In Tarant, actually. Our, families moved to Caledon when we were older. He died in an accident. Terrible accident. I don't want to talk about it. Please, let's just be on our way. I'm sorry, well, forget it. Perhaps another time.
Let's humor this old fool for a while. He might be able to help us, and if playing along with his delusions helps our cause, I'm willing to do so. This city dwarf? Of course not. I am a dwarf of the old tradition. I care little for these dwarves who forget their history and their heritage. What? You must be joking. Look at him. He's grown soft. And his beard. I'd go so far as to say he probably trims it. Don't take the farce too far.
I suppose you're wondering what the newspaper's all about. Lawrence Brummond. He was my brother. I told you that he'd been in an accident. Well, you see the kind of accident it was. Look, I just don't want to talk about it anymore. It was so long ago. I've buried those ghosts. I don't want to let them out again. No! I don't want to speak of it ever again. Just leave me alone. I'm sorry, Lawrence. I'm so sorry.
When my guards informed me a foot soldier of the Malokian Hand was here to see me, I couldn't guess what you could possibly have to speak with me about. What concern are a bunch of inbred dwarves to you? You should be out hunting down that blimp survivor instead of wasting my time, assassin. I think you are searching for anything to excuse the Hand's inability to locate the survivor. And just what do you think we are keeping from you? What could a possible link have to do with finding and eliminating the survivor? The only link between them would be information that the escaped dwarf passed to the survivor. We don't believe they had any knowledge of each other before they boarded the blimp. We cannot be sure, obviously, but we assume it has something to do with why the dwarves were banished to the void. Sadly, Stenar, the dwarf from the blimp, was one of the most skilled engineers. His loss set our timetable back a fair amount. After all those years of trying to concoct a plausible excuse to banish a group of dwarves, that young fool stumbles in there and walks away with their cherished technology. Aranax himself couldn't have dreamed up a better scenario. What did he expect? He has them constructing a technological gate to weaken the ward so he can re-enter this realm, and he's surprised when one of them escapes through it? Stenar had absolutely no magical aptitude. He was able to slip through the smallest opening without any danger to himself. If someone of Aranax's magical power were to attempt to come through before the rift was big enough, it would be an excruciating death, to say the least.
Excuse me, I have something I need to talk with you about. I have to leave. There's something I need to do. Something I should have done a long time ago. Listen, I'm sorry things have to be this way. I stayed with you as long as I could. I tried to forget. But it burns within me, won't leave me alone. I have to go to Caledon. If I can, I'll return to you. If not, well, I wish you the best of luck. I'm sorry. I have no choice. I can no longer live with it. I must go and do what must be done. Farewell, living one. Forgive me, but I must go. Greetings, my friend. It seems... well, it seems we both have come a long way. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me back. These men, they were the men who killed my brother, Lawrence. I had come here tonight to confront my past once and for all. I knew that it would most certainly lead to my own death, but I just couldn't run from it any longer. Yes, it no longer holds any power over me. Before I met you, before I met Joaquin, I was very different. I was a criminal, really. An evil man. There's no other way to say it, and I don't mind admitting it to you now. I lived my life like a dead man. Well, at least in the sense that I used to view such things. I cared very little for anything at all. I lived only from moment to moment. No sense of right or wrong. I stole or lied or even killed with no thought for morality or consequence. And the men I associated with were the same way. Such lives feed upon themselves. My family moved to Caledon when I was younger. Lawrence and I were close in our early years, but the life I chose to lead as I grew older was repulsive to him, and we finally had a falling out. At the time, I didn't care. The dead have no family, and remember not their pasts. This place is a place for the walking dead, a place where men gather to feed their darker sides. I knew it well, too well. I spent a lot of time here, time and money. I also gambled with men who make a living doing so, and one night, I lost more money than I had. I was threatened physically when I couldn't pay, but what is pain to dead men? I laughed and bled and spat on them. It was only then that they threatened to kill my brother if I didn't pay. Of course, I thought it was only a threat, and really, in the end, I didn't feel anything about the matter. I'd left all that behind me, or at least that's what I thought. I can't tell you the pain which tore open my very soul when I found Lawrence, bleeding and broken, the life gone out of him. I cursed myself and the gods and everything else I had forsaken, and I ran. I ran so far and so fast that I don't remember anything until I woke up on the doorstep of the Panari Temple, where Joaquin took me in.
Yes, and doesn't that seem like so very long ago, Virgil? I am Elder Joaquin. Yes, it is I. I must apologize. I have been so busy trying to find out who is trying to kill you and why, that I neglected to consider the fact that you might need my help in other matters. But you are alive, and so I rejoice. I'd heard that Virgil was back in Caledon, alone. I feared the worst, as I knew a little more about his past than you did. I've been searching for him for the past week, and only now did I find him. You've changed much, young Virgil.
Yes, Joaquin, and I have seen much, but I still remember the lessons you taught me. They have brought me through all of this, even through death itself.
I knew from the moment I saw you that you were special somehow, that you were meant for more than the life you left behind. And I see that I was right. The Living One could not have chosen a better companion. You will be a powerful ally in the battle to come. Well, since I left Stillwater, I've been trying to find out if the prophecies say any more about what it is you're supposed to be doing. Unless I've missed something, Aronnax hasn't yet returned. What have you found out? Ah, that is quite a tale. You've done very well, and I think your journey is approaching the end. No, I think that you are in capable hands. I am no longer needed here, but I'm sure I can find something to keep me busy. Good luck. May the spirit of Nasruddin be with you and guide your path. Farewell.
I was just saying that I came here tonight to face my past, and to avenge my brother whom I betrayed. These men were the men who killed him. I knew that I wouldn't survive, but the weight of his death, and my cowardice, were too much to bear any longer. And here you found me. Yes, of course. Yes, well, I saw Lawrence, you see. I saw him on the other side. We didn't really speak, but I felt that he was at peace, that he held no ill will towards me. That lessened my guilt, allowed me to see that those choices I'd made were made by someone else, another man, and that I had left that man behind. It was, well, peaceful, I suppose. I remember very little. I have memories of a gray place, warm, silent. There was no pain there, no suffering. And I remember feeling that it was boundless. A place that was no place, not a prison nor a punishment, but freedom without end. I did, in a strange way. You've no idea what it's like to let go of everything that constitutes our struggles in this life. Pain, greed, envy, guilt. It's liberating, even in its emptiness. I can honestly say that I wanted to come back, to finish what I'd began with you, but that a small part of me wanted very badly to stay. And I think that I carry that gray place with me always. A small piece of death. Yes, of course. I know you would have, but this was a journey that I had to make myself. This all sounds so bloody serious, doesn't it? This wise and introspective gibberish doesn't fit me very well. I'll do my best to put a cap on it. But it has changed me for the better. And I thank you once again. Yes, of course. Yes, of course I will journey with you. As your protector and as your friend. As if I've got a bloody choice. Aren't we all just pawns of prophecy? And something else. I'm not sure, but I think that something has happened to me as a result of all this. I may be better equipped to face Aranax when the time comes. Yes, let us continue on.
Ah, it's wonderful to see you again. Certainly. How can I help you? I'm so glad you returned safely, so very relieved. Are you hurt? Perhaps you need some healing. Very well, perhaps another time. What news do you bring of Midgard? Did you find him? Did you find the village of the Dark Elves? Tell me what happened. That's quite an adventure. But it seems you found what you were looking for. And this Midgard, did you find him? Did he tell you what happened to the Black Mountain clan? She? And what did she have to say? You were there long enough. Obviously, you two had much to discuss. And that is perhaps the best compliment I've ever received. Thank you. Tell me of this Midgard. What did she say? So, the Black Mountain clan was banished in order to help Aranax weaken the wards. He's really coming back. We elves are a magical race and wise to the ways of ruin and prophecy. But I never really thought... Regardless, we must act. You must speak to my mother. She may be able to see what is to be done. The story of Aranax is an old one. He was a powerful elf who lived in the Age of Legends. Back then, there was an elven council who ruled over the land, and Aranax had defied them. There was a great struggle between them, and Aranax was banished to the Void. The story, of course, is much more complicated than that, but those are the important points. The Void is where people go when they are banished. Don't ask me about it. I don't know what it's like. In fact, no one knows, because no one has ever come back from there. The Age of Legends refers to a time in Arcanum's history when things were much different than they are now. There was an elven council that ruled over all of the races, and magic was a large part of everyone's lives. It was a time of heroes and great good, and also of great evil. A time before the rise of technology, before the Dwarven clan wars, before the mages left for Tula. I don't know as much about the history as others. The Panari religion is very concerned with Aranax. The prophecy of his return comes from them. If you have questions about it, they have temples all across Arcanum, and a priest would be able to give you the particulars. My mother will know the course we should take. She may be able to see through all of this and tell us what is to be done.
Hello again, traveler. Yes, I knew you'd return to me. And it seems that you still walk the shore. This gladdens me. It means that you've chosen the right path, traveler. At least, right in the way that you see things. I am happy for you. Of course. What is the question? Your answer lies with Nazruddin. You have your answer, traveler. We won't be speaking again.
Ah, it's wonderful to see you again. Certainly. How can I help you? You did? And what did she tell you? That's very, very odd. Because Nazruddin has been dead for more than 2,000 years. Yes, it would seem so. Yes, I know. At least that's the story. As I've said, I don't know the details. Yes, it is very strange. My recommendation is that we travel to Caledon. There we will find the first temple of the Panari, and perhaps some more answers. Yes, I did. This matter affects all of Arcanum and the elves more directly. Where else would I be than where I am most needed? Of course, I'd love to join you. And you would have me? Then let's go face whatever is out there together.
Greetings. It's good to see you again. And again I thank you. I have assumed my rightful place as King of the Dwarves. I've made peace with my past, but have not forgotten its lessons. Tell me, have you found anything out about the fate of the Black Mountain clan? An interesting story. And I see that you've brought along Princess Raven. Greetings, Princess.
And greetings to you, King Logair. I didn't think you'd have recognized me. I don't believe we've ever had the pleasure of making one another's acquaintance.
No, we've never met. In truth, I've never met your mother, either. As you know, relations between the elves and the dwarves have always been, well, strained at best.
Yes, our peoples are very different, King Logair. But in the name of the elves of Kintara, I apologize for any wrong done to you in our name. And I grieve for your lost people, as if they were my own.
I thank you, Princess Raven. Perhaps this might be a turning point between the Wheel clan and the elves of Kintara. Once we have addressed this evil, of course. This reaches much further than even I thought. The fate of Arcanum itself hangs in the balance. It seems it is again my place to make things right. I mean that your friend here is not the only dwarf in Arcanum who's willing to take part in this quest. Tell me, young brother, who are you?
Yes, your majesty. I am Magnus Shale Fist, sir, at your service, sir.
Magnus Shalefist, eh? It's a pleasure to meet you, Magnus. I don't believe I've ever heard the name of Shalefist. Which clan are you of?
What clan, you ask? Well, you see, your majesty, that's a bit complicated. I mean, I'm from one of the oldest... Oh, there's no use in lying to you. I don't know what clan I'm from. My family hasn't known for a long time.
I see. Listen, lad. A dwarf carries his clan in his heart. No time nor distance can keep you apart from them, and eventually a dwarf always comes home. Do you understand, Magnus?
Yes, your majesty. It's just that I've looked for them for so long. I want so much to be able to find them, or to know who they were. I want so much to be a part of dwarven history, to make a difference.
You're doing that already, lad. You've done enough to make any clan proud. Arcanum is in need of heroes, and you've heeded the call. I am ready to heed that call as well. I'm saying that I mean to do whatever is necessary to avenge my people and save our world. Yes, I think you would be a fine companion. I've already made preparations. Should we leave now? Yes, to whatever awaits us.